Hi guys, welcome back to Naturally Ellie. As you can see today, I'm coming to you from the great outdoors. If you follow me on Instagram, then I'm sure you're familiar with my lakeside retreat where I like to come and clear my head. So today I was trying to get some work done in my apartment, but I have a neighbor with some small kids and they were just not having it today, and there was just a lot of noise. The walls are not as thick, and so the noise kind of carries. So I decided to take advantage of the fact that it is a beautiful fall day. It's supposed to be the sunniest day of the week so far, and come to my favorite lake. So when I got here, I was just so happy to have made that decision because there were chipmunks running around, there was a swan gliding across the lake. I have the park to myself today, which is a rare treat as well. So I'm really glad that I made this decision, and that got me thinking about, how much time I spent when I was working in an office, and I kept myself chained to a desk, and I was skipping lunch breaks and working late hours. And I worked for a company for about 17 years, and for the last 7 to 10 years I had a company computer and phone, which meant that I was always accessible. I was always on. During the last, I want to say 3 years, I was also able to work from home most of the week. So I know that sounds really great. You say, oh, yeah, you get to make a great work-life balance when you get to work from home. And that's not the case. What happens when you can work from home and you have company equipment is that you're on from the minute you get up. It's easy to skip breaks because you just go and grab food or go and run to the bathroom when you need to, and then you end up right back at your computer, and then you can stay on, lose track of time and stay on till all hours. There were times that I was on, during budgeting time when there's a lot of work to get done, I would be on until like 10, 11 o'clock at night and just go to sleep and wake up the next morning and just get right back to it. So I know how easy it can be to get yourself so wrapped up in your work, to let yourself get bogged down with things at work, and to say, I'll skip lunch today, I'll just go and grab something to eat and eat at my desk. And that is so unhealthy. That's one of the reasons why I had gained so much weight when I did, between the stress and the poor eating habits and not having a regular schedule. It's just the worst thing for you, for your health. So I just wanted to talk to you guys and make sure that you take some time for yourself. On a beautiful day like today, grab your food and go eat outside. Take your hour. If you can, if you're able to, during the last, I want to say, year of my time at work, I don't know why it took me so long, but during that last year, I came to a realization that with the company phone, and we had Skype, and all of our meetings were run through Skype when they were conference calls. So there was no reason I had to sit at my desk unless I was the one running the meeting and I had to present and share my screen. There's no reason that I had to sit at my desk and take those calls. So during that last year, I would go to the supermarket on my lunch break, even if it meant that I wouldn't be back before my next meeting. I would just start the meeting from my phone and then continue at my desk once I got to my desk. I was always late to work. It's just, I don't know, I'm not a morning person. I could wake up extra early and still somehow manage to get in to the office late. Part of it is, as I mentioned in another video, dragging yourself up out of bed in the morning and just kind of going through the motions because you have no energy. It takes longer to do things, and so it doesn't matter what time I got up, I was always late to work, except for when I was working from home. Being that I was late, if I had an early morning meeting, I would get so stressed out because I'm late, I have to get there, and I'm so frazzled. I would just, again, start the meeting from my phone and join at my desk once I got there. So there are ways, especially in this day and age, where there is so much technology that allows us to connect and communicate with people without being directly face-to-face, or we don't even have to be in the same city or state. I had meetings with people in France. I had meetings with people in Australia. I didn't have to sit at my desk. Why do I have to sit at my desk if the people that I'm having a meeting with aren't even in the same country or time zone. So think about that the next time you say, I need to be at my desk. Again, unless you're the one running the meeting and you need to present and share your screen, as long as you can get someplace quiet enough, you don't want to be in a huge, crazy, noisy place while you're having this meeting where every time you try to speak, there's a lot of background noise. You want to make sure that when you do it, it's quiet. So if you're in your car on your way somewhere, you can, connect the Bluetooth. If you're, like I said, during your lunch hour, take a break. If you can find a nice quiet spot to go to, take your meeting there. There was a lot of times that I skipped lunch because I got caught up in something, and next thing I knew, I had a meeting in 20 minutes, so I wasn't going to be able to go take my lunch hour and then be back in time for the meeting. So I would just completely skip lunch until it dawned on me that I don't have to do that, and I can take the meetings while I'm out. Another thing is, don't feel like you can't ask for a meeting to be pushed back. I had a team of people that sometimes I would always accommodate everybody else. If this person said, I'm running late, can we postpone? Yeah, sure, no problem. And I would do it. But I never asked for that. And, if it means skipping my lunch break and grabbing crap because I don't have the time to go make myself something better to eat, I was doing myself a disservice, and I was doing them a disservice, because now I'm sitting there in a meeting after having eaten some crap where I'm not going to be in my best shape because I ate poorly or I didn't eat enough because I just grabbed something quick in order to make it to this meeting. So take care of yourself, put yourself first. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but I have put that into practice, and I'm telling you, my life is so much better for it. I started to lose weight because I was taking time for myself, whether it's meal prepping. So one day a week you decide to go ahead and make all your meals for the week. So when you have those instances where you're kind of tight on time, you just have something to grab that is healthy. That's one way to go. I'm not a meal prep type of person. I might prep one or two things that I can just have handy so that I'm not picking junk, but most of the times I'm just making whatever I'm going to eat for that meal or for the next 2 or 3 meals. I don't really go like a week and plan the whole entire week at a time. For me, I'm just not that type of person. I know a lot of people that works well for them, so if you're one of those people, by all means go ahead and do that, but also make sure that if you're having that prep meal, that you're also taking the time to yourself to step away from the computer, put the phone down, and just connect with your environment. Take a minute to meditate, close your eyes, and just listen to the sounds around you, or block out the noise around you depending on where you are. There's really no excuse. While I'm at this beautiful lake, I have said I live in a city, so it's not like I'm in a super suburban area or rural area where there's just lakes and mountains and rivers. I'm not, I live in a city also. And even if you live in such a hectic city like New York City, Manhattan, you still have parks that you can get to. You can go to Central Park, you can go to Bryant Park. There are little gardens hidden in places throughout the city. You have your rooftop gardens. So there are all kinds of ways that you can kind of get away and escape. So many times when people talk about getting healthy, they're talking about exercise and working out your body, but you have to also make sure that your mind is right, and meditation, and even just a little self-care. You don't even have to meditate if that's not your thing. You just need to take a break, take some rest for yourself. Technology is great, but it can just do so much damage. If you're always on, you're always connected, the second you step away, some people feel lost without a device, and that's not healthy. You miss so much of life. I can't tell you how many times I'm walking down the street and people are about to bump into me or bump into something because their nose is in their phone. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not guilty, but I have peripheral vision, so I always stay aware of my surroundings. So even if I'm reading an email or a text or scrolling through social media as I'm walking down the street, I always remain aware of what's going on around me. So it's really important to stay grounded, stay present. While it's fun to check social media, don't let that take away from your life. So many people are unhappy because they just see people living their best life online, but of course that's what you're going to see online. You're going to see people living their best life. You're not going to see people on their dark days. You're not going to see people on the days that they're struggling. So they're going through just as much as you, or sometimes they could be going through more than you, but all they put out is their best face. So don't live your life by what other people are doing online. Step away every once in a while. Say, figure out your happy place. Figure out a place where you can unwind and disconnect and get your mind right. Because if your mind isn't right, it doesn't matter how well you eat or how much you exercise. It's not going to, you're not going to be your best self. So make sure your mind is right. Take some time out for yourself. When you can, get outdoors, get some sun. The sun is the best source of energy. It has all kinds of, benefits. I feel completely recharged after an afternoon sitting at the park and getting sun. If you stay cooped up in an apartment or an office or just, indoors, that's not good for you either. So one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of the fall or the winter is because I love having my windows wide open and getting that fresh air indoors. And when it's cooler, or cold, I can't do that. So having all that stale air that you're breathing in and out can make you feel kind of down. So you want to get out and get fresh air whenever possible. Okay, so I think I've rambled on enough for today, and I hope that I have given you some things to think about. And if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to leave them down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.